Hey, welcome back, disc golf fans, to JBTV. We're watching Kitsap Classic coverage presented by Gateway Disc Sports. This is a regional A-tier featuring 4 of your brightest stars, or should I say 3 and some old guy.
Here I am.
And we're picking up here on hole 10. We are now playing the Lakeside Disc Golf Course at Horseshoe Lake in Port Orchard, Washington. Kyle Crabtree is your leader at 20 down. Dustin Keegan at 18, Jesse at 19, me at 17. So it is a contested battle with 18 holes to play. Our 10th hole, par 3, 300 feet. Not a challenge distance-wise, but you have to cross the path, be left of the path, sit down, which is, wow, Jesse does perfectly, and not go too far because there's OB on the opposite side of the path.
Yeah, say this green and fairway, the safe part of the fairway kind of plays like a horseshoe.
Oh.
There you go.
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah, not a tough hole distance-wise, like you said, but to get something to land soft on that green, to not skip out left is what you want.
What's interesting, because the green is so protected by these trees, honestly, my play was to just slam it into the trees and hope for a good drop. Looks like you had parked it perfectly.
Yeah.
Dustin, coming up a little bit short, is going to have a just outside circle 1 putt to convert for birdie. Dustin has not missed a putt yet this round.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you guys watch round 1, front 9, you're going to know what's going to happen right here.
In the
Just
heart.
dead center, no matter the distance. Guy was on fire all around.
This is such a clean putt, so smooth. What I really appreciate about Dustin's step form here is he leaves his back foot behind the mini, clearly indicating valid stance.
Right.
So that was a fantastic play. I am not too much closer, just on the edge of circle 1 with a little bit of a alleyway pointing towards the basket.
Another huge putt.
Boom, count it.
And I believe Jesse is fairly close.
Yeah, both you and Jesse seem to be pretty much under the basket.
It's a little better of a starting hole than the front 9.
That's right. Where we had 1 birdie. Yeah, look at those drives. Those are super close. Front 9 holes was very par 4 heavy. Definitely a challenging 9 of the 27-hole layout. This middle section is all gettable. There's going to be 7 par 3s, or maybe 6 par 3s, 3 par 4s. And there are, in the off season, we've played this course a few times, I believe. Yeah. You and I had both gone 7 or 8 down in this section. So
definitely must get holes through this section.
This is where you score. Hole 2, or I'm sorry, second hole, so hole 11, 320 feet. Just got to navigate a little bit of tree action around the green.
This is one of those holes where you're going to throw your best shot. You can go sidearm, straight at it, hyzer. Just throw your best shot to get it there.
Yeah, whatever you throw 320 accurately.
Sidearm is pretty open out there. So if you got it, that's the ideal play.
Looks like 3 of us are electing for that. I have a suspicion you are going to throw a backhand.
Most likely, yeah.
Dustin drops right there in the gap.
Yeah, and I'm anytime I can throw a hyzer flip straight at it, I'm going to.
Is that a Buzz SS?
That is a Buzz SS.
That's what I thought. You had the exact angle and distance read, maybe just not wide enough to be parked, but you had the perfect flight for it. Oh.
Now the putter's coming alive.
All right. Yeah, and that first 9, I think, out in the warm stretch of the course, exposed by sun, I really was having grip problems. In this section, you can tell there's a little bit more trees. I think it's cooled off. I just felt more comfortable, was able to commit to some putts. Oh, Jesse just wide on that one. Really wanted that. That would have been to tie you up. Dustin inside the circle, just has to straddle through that last little gap there.
Wonder if he makes it. Definitely taking his time, but makes it worth it if it goes in.
And it does.
Of
And his
course.
perfect putting round continues. Yeah, I can't stand it when gentlemen take a long time to putt and then they miss. I at least have the decency to miss quickly, which I hope my card mates appreciate.
Oh, I do. No.
Shout out to Allison Mabbitt there in the back right of the frame. She decided to caddy for me through this section of the course. She had finished her amateur round, and that is a big relief for me.
For sure.
You know, this is a long 27-hole layout, so having somebody on the bag really helps.
Yeah, that was one of my plays. If you could see, I have a Zuka cart, and I've never really carried one, and I still kind of don't, but knowing the length of the course and the heat and all that, definitely was a smart choice to get a cart.
Yeah, good conservation of energy. Shout out to, was it Chain Bangers?
Yeah, Keith over Chain Bangers hooked me up with a cart.
Fantastic. Here we are on Lakeside, hole 3, which is our third hole on the middle section of the course, 340 feet, moving left to right. Because of the downhill, this is really the same kind of shot that we just had on the previous hole, especially for those who went forehand. So as long as you hit the fairway and finish right, you should be in good shape.
Yeah, hole's pretty straightforward here. I think really sidearm is the only play here if you want to get on the putting green, which Dustin's done nicely.
Wow, really direct. Perfect flight, perfect distance read. What do you forehand, Kyle?
That's a force right there, and I don't normally forehand. If I can throw a backhand, I will. Unless, in this case, the hole calls for it.
Yeah, the shape of the hole really demands a forehand. The backhand's there. It's just more effort than you really need when the forehand
Really
is so
demanding
natural.
backhand to get something to turn late and stick there. Another one of the musket holes on this middle 9 here.
Yeah, and at 340, I think this is the longest par 3 in this stretch of, first few holes. So, if that is the hole you have to get, that really tells you how scoreable this section is. And we're all still pretty tight there in terms of score, and we're all on the green, so this is where we're going to really see a lot of, the pressure start to mount.
Yeah, we all know the scores. We all know where we're at, so each stroke counts.
Nice connection there from just inside the circle. I hit a just under 40-foot on hole 10, 40-footer on hole 11. Now I'm inside the circle. Do you think that helps or hurts? You just hit 2 long ones, and now you're closer.
Confidence-wise, I think that helps. Now you're thinking about it here.
Yep. And you would think it would help, but not when you're a head case like me. Dustin with the automatic.
Not going away.
So I knew how much that putt meant. That was for my 6th straight birdie. So right. I was really on a roll, had the momentum on my side, and needed to carry that in if I needed, if I were to have a chance at this. So that's playing on me. But in our next par 3, 285 feet, similar OB, obstacle as in hole 1, or on the first hole of the section, where you have to be in between the paths in order to stay safe. So very scoreable, but still dangerous.
Yeah, this one's short enough that all players should be going for it, regardless of skill, driver, mid-range. However you get there, you got to attack this hole.
This is another one of those shots that rewards commitment. If you can commit to putting into the side hill and then skipping up onto the green, that's your best play.
Also, you got to take into account the correct mistake. You'd want to make it onto the island. If you go OB long, not ideal, but you're going to take that as in never crossing.
Right.
Thanks.
So ideally land on the island, but if you don't, you got to make sure you make the correct mistake.
And I throw the forehand here, which is a bit unconventional, but really I'm just aiming to that tree on the left. And if I penetrate, if I commit, it's just going to hit the hill and check
It's a
up.
nice safe play. Get yourself in bounds.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else from Dustin.
Oh, we already made another one.
Yeah. Still perfect on the
Gosh.
green. He's perfect on the green from about 45 and in so
Yeah.
far, which is incredible. And I'm able to connect. That's, I think, the first inside the circle putt for birdie of any significant length there for me. So that's a confidence builder.
It's nice to see that short miss didn't take yourself out of it right there, because
Yeah.
that could definitely keep the bleeding going.
Right. Jesse's going to have a short tap in for his birdie. Whoa.
Yeah.
High in the chains, but it
Scorecard
counted.
says too.
Yeah, that's right. You know who told me that first? Mike Kane said there's no pictures on the scorecard. First time I heard that.
So the very first hole of this round, I got a 3. No one knows
No
how
one
hard I
knows.
worked for it.
That's right. And here we are with the first par 4 in this section of 9 holes, 580 feet. That is reachable. The challenge is we're going to be teeing out of a little chute, and then we have OB left and then a tree line right. So center is still valued, but at 580, this is certainly a gettable par 4.
Dustin again goes with the roller. Not something I've seen, but he must have practiced it plenty of times, because
Holy cow.
he's going to get there.
Holy cow. He's going to be probably edge of circle, too, with that look.
Yeah, nice shot.
Good little turnover shot for you. Pretty direct route to the pin. You'll have maybe 150 feet from there. Jesse with the forehand play. To me, this means he did not practice this hole. Was not able to find a comfortable shot to bite off distance.
That surprised me when I saw that, but you know what? It's once you get out there, you're out there. But normally you try to bite a little more distance off.
I'm licking my chops on a hole like this. I'm hoping to get into putting range.
Definitely, if you got the arm and the correct disc for it, it is reachable.
Ooh, too much cut on that roller. That needs to stand up.
So did you practice the roller, or do you normally air shot that one?
Up until this point, I had mostly air shotted this hole, but I did want to throw the roller. I felt confident on the shortcut fairways that a roller would work. I just did not commit to my angle on that tee pad, so that was a lack of practice running up on the tee pad.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you that since this round, I've played some casual rounds out there, and I've parked this hole with the roller. So I think that was the right play. I just didn't have the opportunity to practice it too much.
Yeah, and it's not too big of a slope, but anytime basket has a hill by it, you want to try to set it up there flat.
Yeah, good approach from you, Dustin. I'm going to say he's still perfect from the putting, because that was not a
Yeah.
heartfelt run. That was a pretty conceited.
Yeah, if he starts making those.
Exactly. Oh, Jesse just on the right side, and that's a second right side miss in a few holes, so that's going to be starting to wear on him. Good birdie from you. Also, I'll be cleaning up for a par here in a moment, and I knew that even with par 4, and it's a hole you want to get, the worst that could happen for me was a one-stroke difference. So par at worst with that aggressive play. We're moving into a more challenging par 4. We're going to be shooting out of a tunnel with pond on right, OB on left, and then a more demanding approach shot sandwiched in between two sets of OB on some undulating hills there.
I really like this hole on the side. There's danger on left, danger right, danger off the pad. I really kind of club down and just throw something slow and straight where I want it, and then I make my shot from there.
That is a good play. Because distance isn't really the problem here. It is being in the center cut. And on that downhill shot, you can get left to right more than you might normally.
Right.
So the OB really comes into play. Probably the most tempting thing for a player like myself is knowing that I could probably reach this hole in one, but it's just not worth it. So Jesse sticks to the forehand play, and although he missed a putt on the hole before, I mean, really it's not a problem to get up and down for birdie on both of these holes with that safe play. Throwing the Z force here, and I think I get quite a ways down there, which is nice. I'll have an easier approach, and kept it in the middle.
I believe they moved this basket back closer to the golf green, out of bounds.
That's right. It's, previous years, and I can rely on Chandler on this, as he was my guide the first time we came out here. He told me that the basket was on the first of these rolling hills. Now it's on the third. And that is why, because it brings that into play. So Jesse OB, kind of an unforced error there.
Yeah, another reason why I liked the backhand flat approach, then that won't happen. So Dustin, I believe, is on the fringe, which is safe.
Incredibly close to being out of bounds there. He did not hook that forehand up. Is that your Challenger OS?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you're matching the angle of the green. There's zero opportunity for rollaway there.
Taking all the bad luck out of it.
I like that idea. The challenge for me is I haven't thrown a backhand approach all day, so I'm just sticking with what I know, and I throw the drone. From that range, I'm not too worried about it.
Right. Most of the time it's going to stay, but there's that slight 2% chance it could roll.
And you actually came up a little bit shorter than it looked on camera. That's the deception of the rolling hills there. But great putt from you to keep that birdie.
Yeah.
Jesse to save, and he's missed right on the previous holes. Let's see if he can correct. Oh man, he was very tentative on that stroke.
Yeah, something's going on between the ears there.
Dustin within range. Odds are in his favor the way he's putting today.
I don't think he misses. Yeah, no, not a chance.
No. And after a nice aggressive tee shot and easy approach, I can reward myself with a hassle-free birdie.
Easy birdie.
Jesse not able to convert the save, has to settle for a bogey. So that's 2, almost 3 if you count the out-of-bounds drop strokes on conservative play on those gettable par 4s. So that's got to be frustrating. Back into a par 3 mode at 365 feet. Pretty classic hyzer shot here. The green is fast, so if you don't stick on that hyzer, you will skip out to circle's edge. There's trouble right. So you certainly want to commit to moving right to left on the tee shot.
Yeah, definitely my play is to use not a stable disc, not an overstable disc, because you don't want to pull it to the right and go straight. You don't want it skipping hard left. You want that soft landing coming in.
Yeah, and you have very good angle control. Players such as myself who relies a little bit more on power is going to fight. I'm choosing a predator. I'm going overstable just to crash it.
Right.
But you have much more control on the landing there, and you are rewarded with the inside the circle hit.
I think the only time this hole gets tricky is if the wind picks up.
Yep.
It comes up, and it can turn your disc over very easy, and it's hard to read.
Yep. So I'm throwing Z Predator nice and wide, playing the skip, and really using the ground play to put myself in
Good
position.
shot.
Let's see if Jesse can bounce back and put this close and not have to worry about the putt. I think Jesse's actually throwing a destroyer here, which I'll be the first to make fun of him for doing, because he doesn't need a destroyer to throw 365 feet, but that's his comfort zone, so that
plays
works.
a little downhill, so I believe in years past I've thrown a mid-range even. So
I think in the future, as long as it's not windy, I'll probably move in that direction.
Is he within 45?
Yeah. Even though he's got a tree right between himself and the basket, I have full confidence. Oh, yeah, no problem. Really finding a stroke out there this weekend.
Yeah, he must. Whatever he ate for breakfast, man.
Sign me up.
Just, I wonder if he knows that he's making it before he gets up there. He's got to be feeling that right now.
Yeah, we're 16 holes deep, and the dude has not missed.
Yeah.
You know, that's the, you know, say what you will about 27-hole rounds. The dude's about to play a standard 18 with a perfect putting.
Right.
You know, that's incredible. And nice conversion from yourself from the fringe there.
Yeah, knowing Dustin's made it from beyond 50 feet, you know, I can't drop a stroke to him there.
Yeah, you can see now on the scorecard there's a little bit of separation. Jesse and I have dropped back. You and Dustin have pushed forward, so you're really going stroke for stroke now. Oh,
Nice putt.
Hey, who's that guy making a putt? A little tap on the basket for appreciation. And Jesse finishing our bid for a star frame
I think
here.
his last few holes, he needs to make this.
This is one of those, as a player, you know the significance of the make.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss it, you can basically chalk yourself up to missing the rest.
Everyone's already in for their two, and you're closest.
Yep.
You cannot miss this. Nice.
Yeah, count it. So now he can kind of go, great, that whatever that was,
Yep.
those last couple putts, put that behind me. I'm making putts from here on out. This is the shortest par 4 on the course at 570 feet and downhill. Only danger being on the left-hand side. This is a very reachable par 4 if you want to go for it. Otherwise, the main danger here is once we get to the green, there is a significant drop-off behind the basket, which will really scare you into going for your putts.
Again, this is one you can really let loose on, and never seen a roller until this round, but
Dang.
he's going to be reaching all these.
Dang, it's such a smooth roller. I love Dustin's form. And
I
down.
think if he gets 5 more shots with that same disc, he dials it in.
Exactly.
In the circle.
Agreed. Are you going for it, or are you just sinking position?
I'm going to throw this as far and as hard as I can. I'm not reaching this one, but again, I'm trying to play down the middle. Don't skip out left. Don't roll over right. This green is very tricky with that slope. It's deceiving. If you throw it to the top of the hill, you're still 40 away. So you kind of have to throw it over the hill.
That's a pretty good crush. Now, is that at the upper limit of your distance, or do you have another gear that
No,
you just don't use on the course?
That's about it.
Wow, okay.
That's why I was surprised to see all the rollers. But that's something to work on for sure.
Yeah, well, the ground out there on the golf course is just so ideal for it.
Right. If it hasn't been raining or wet.
Oh, I bust out a little 360. I do remember this. I pull a little wide and right. So I brought the fringe into play unnecessarily with that aggression. Kyle, I only have so many opportunities to brag in my life, so I'll share this with you now. But since this round, we played. I went out there and played a Friday doubles, and I actually parked this hole within 10 feet.
Yeah,
so
I could see that.
So I think this is the second or third time I've ever thrown it. So like you said about Dustin, you get a few more reps in, you find the line.
For sure. This looks like it's hunting for it.
And if it peels out right, that's not a problem as long as you can get a stance.
Right.
Because you can see the pin on that right side, and you can see the hill. It's on the left side that's blind and tricky. And, oh boy, that really rolled out. Jesse gonna flick a rhino up there.
hopefully it stays.
Yeah, that was a tricky angle to approach at, but if it's sat, then he should be good. So this is the advantage on that right side. You can see the green. You can see the landing zone you want. So from where you are, it's completely blind. That looked like a pretty good read.
Yeah, not trying to do anything special there. Just get it close where you don't have to putt.
And this is the most dangerous putt on the hole from circle's edge, 40 feet, putting straight down at it. Yeah. Not really much I could do to go for it. So I'll cough up a par on by far the easiest or most gettable par 4 on the course.
There's a good putt from Jess.
Yeah, much more confidence there. Dustin with the cool shades.
I bet you the sun has no effect.
Yeah.
Nope.
So cool. 17 straight holes of perfection for Dustin on the green. And this to clean up your birdie. Well done. One of the things that's fun about playing a 27-hole layout is knowing the pace of the round and how many more opportunities you'd get than a normal 18. It's kind of fun. You're not really out of it ever.
Right.
You have so many more chances near the end. And our last hole on this 9 on the middle section is probably the trickiest par 4 on this side. And that is, you can see this big row of trees in front of us. You can go wide or you can go up the gut, and then you'll have a more protected second shot to navigate.
Yeah, this wide play, definitely the safest of all the routes, but this is kind of a choose your route, choose your best shot.
There you go.
You know, what you feel most comfortable with.
You go up the gut here?
I go the sneaky leftist gap with my roller disc.
Ooh,
and
that's fancy.
It's very aggressive. If you hit, it could be punishing, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. And it works out because I get way up here.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to have the simplest version of the up and down out of this group for sure. Jesse plays wide.
Definitely a route. If you haven't practiced it, you're probably going to take this Heiser route, but I've played this route many times, and I know it's there. And like I said, it's that risk reward if you want to take that or not.
I like to go up the gut too. I believe I just barely nick a branch and I get sucked into the out of bounds. I've had shots, so I'm actually only a foot out of bounds. Right. So I've had shots hit those trees and drop and be way closer than where Dustin and Jesse are, in terms of me just pitching up beforehand. So to me, there's very little reason not to go up the left side because it can be safe even if it hits, and
right.
if it's clean and gets through, then it's an automatic birdie.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong playing that Heiser safe out there.
Great shot from Jesse, almost puts it in.
I would have thought Dustin would have went sidearm here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap on the right. Kind of a false front to this green. Where the trees are, where you hit the gap, is actually about 50 to 60 short, so you have to clear that gap by a little bit more than you might think.
There's my tomahawk sidearm disc.
Landing vertically. Eyes are so strong that it's bouncing forward on a vertical skip. And I came up a bit short, so I've got a lengthy circle 2 putt. Oh, not a bad bid, but not what I really wanted on this hole.
That's a couple good putts there in a row for Jesse now.
Yeah, so he's starting to groove. I've fallen off the pace. I had a good start to this 9, but I really lost my rhythm. And you are still 2 ahead of Dustin and a few clear of the other contenders. We're not aware of what's happening on other cards on this course, but we were kind of far ahead. I don't think there was too much trouble behind us.
I don't think so. I think it was between us four. And one stat that we might not know is me and Dustin birdied that whole middle 9. Every hole 9 in a row. So.
Holy cow. So 9 in a row for
Battle's
you and
on.
Dustin. Hey, folks, please share, follow, subscribe, and smile, John Brown TV, and come back and see us on the final 9 at the Kitsap Classic 2019.
Thanks for watching.